African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policy. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading lights, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is one way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on coercion or sanitary conditions. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working in a profession, you got to step down and protect your country, so that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of president that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened yesterday was wrong, it's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their side is there. And these are things that we got to be standing up to be a patriot. You have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism that those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
There's influence and counterclaims that the police attempting to bribe suspect Yanti and trying to coerce him to lie on other co-defendants. He has declared that at no point in time the Liberian National Police, any given instance, have engaged them with Mr. Yanti concerning any issue of violence. Of the names that he listed, there's no one who has had any authority to commit one that. Also, Mr. Yanti has been identified from the one as a person of interest in this case. He has been on the one. In mutual cooperation with the Ghanaian police, he was arrested and subsequently turned over. Mr. Yanti was brought back in 2016. He is a mention of a family member who made a request that he was willing to cooperate and become a witness. However, we know that in criminal investigation, cooperating suspects are always doers. He was brought in based on the request of the family member who assisted in this process. We were able to give him a chance to speak with him and to test the legitimacy of his willingness to assist in the investigation.
From the beginning of this process, now under today, from the onset, we have built a constitution that will not turn a wrong finger behind a wrong person. We must make sure that the investigation is very thorough, very thorough, to the extent that we will say, you are the doer of the act, there should be nothing else. What we have done is that we are going to go after people who are suspected to be the committee of any offense, to make sure that the evidence is potent, conclusive, and the evidence will meet all the quality of test evidence. And so we brought this to the court. We are not pretending about it. Evidence are overwhelming, and those who collected the evidence, those are trained, tested, and where in some people in the criminal justice system. We have made no mistake, and you will see it from now on. We are going to hold those who break our sacred house. Now, this is a state house.
If John agreed to what they want him to do, they will give him 50,000 and they will take his family and get Europe. So give them, get the first case 2,000 to John. After who receive it, after the journey over, after get the 2,000, we still got 2,000 in our possession. Yesterday, on Saturday, we gave a John, we gave John a phone. And John used that phone to send me message. And through the messages, even the calling. They said that they were monitoring all of the conversation. They are tracking all of the family down. And know everybody. They even tracking to arrest my sister. Nancy, because she was not at the company job in Ghana. So they are not safe. Our family is not safe. While I made for them to release my brother, stolen there, but on Saturday, the men torturing, talking to me, the evening, 6 inches, statement, answer, question and answer. What for them to see?
What is happening today is under the approval of the President of the Republic. That's how our government works. Anything of this nature, the President does not want it, will never know how our system works. Where's the accountability? There's no more system in our country. Everything is now left to people. The legislature is gone. The judiciary has been sufficiently intimidated. What is left now is the executive to run the country. Do just as they want. So at the end of the day, I am convinced and common sense dictates that at this level, what is happening today can never happen in Nigeria. I don't know about other countries without the acquiescence of the president. No way. Joseph Bola want this man to go to jail when this case started out with general national security of the president. No way. Joseph Bola want this man to go to jail when this case. No way. Joseph Bola want this man to go to jail of the president. No way. Joseph Bola want this man to go to jail. No way. Joseph Bola want this man to go to jail of the president. No way. Joseph Bola want this man to go to jail. When this case started, I was chairman of national security. I was briefed. I know the evidence the government has. Of course, I have no authority to disclose that evidence, but I know that evidence the government have, they've had that evidence over 100 days. And I can assure you that in the last 2 months, not a single item has been added on that list. Nothing happened today. Today was the day to arrest Konati Koba and make sure he goes to jail. That was the order. And to make sure he goes to jail, we are told that the magistrate was not inclined to allow them to go to jail. The magistrate was inclined to give them bail. After 1.5 years as president, what is clear to me is that this president has no capacity to forget about anything he or not told before. Has zero capacity. When you call Fonati and told Fonati, I want you to give me the censorship. And Fonati told him, no, I have the vote to win. And that day, never wanted him. Everything else, I tell my friends, everything else was a facade. President Bola has something against you, you got to live with it. There's nothing you can do about it. You got to live with it. So why you doing the cover was part of his plan from day one.
Did you hear the press conference of Gregory Coleman, the IG? He did say that this is a highly political case, did he not? So you don't take the party's word for it, you take the IG's word for it. He decided to bring this case based on a basket of evidence of innuendos, lies, and misstatement. And in the next few weeks, as we go through the preliminary hearing, we will deconstruct those lies and be able to put together a defense that is worthy of what we've done. It's a place for human beings. Unfortunately, that's the best the state can offer for Liberian citizens. It's unfortunate, but they are no better than me. As long as we're in a political battle, it's a political win.
Is unconfirmed. But our local language or parlance, people say, where there is smoke, likely that you see fire. As President Kung is trying to use undue influence, we believe in the integrity of the court and those members of the bench, from the Chief Justice to all of the 4 associate justices. Those individuals are people with impeccable character, people of integrity, that you cannot ban it, you cannot do anything. We are calling on the Vice President to establish undue influence. The law is the law, and you are. It is unconfirmed. But our local language or parlance, people say, where there is smoke, likely that you see fire.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up to be a patriot. You have to stand first on the side of the law because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth. And that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policy. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
To God Almighty, who is the creator and sustainer of the universe. Faithful and true he is to his word, never reneging on his promises made to us, but fulfilled every word, every sentence, every paragraph, every letter he uttered. He is good, he is faithful, he is kind, he is merciful. His name surpasses every other name. There is no name close to his name. Every other name beneath his name because he is the Almighty God who keeps watch over us throughout the day, throughout the night, protect us as we move in the midst of our enemies, political, social, economic, just existential enemies, who provides our needs according to his unlimited provision. He is the God Almighty. We are grateful to have him hovering us by his presence. Thank you all for coming on wherever you are falling from. We appreciate all of you. It is Thursday, the 19th day of June 2025, in the reign of Judo Christopher. Hope that you are faring well. You're doing good. It's not easy to survive right now. It takes God who is carrying everybody through. But it's good to see all of you. Know that you are following from wherever you are. I appreciate every one of you. On this day, again, we are giving out 10,000. That is by and through the King's Cash giveaway. Hit the jackpot with just 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US. Dial star 799 star 24 hatch, and your 10,000 and 5,000, 15,000, it's yours to take. Also, the Liberty Fortune Squash and Win draw is at the weekend, this weekend. Somebody will walk away with 1,000 United States dollars. You want to take advantage of that? Play, always play, never stop playing. You could be that person who hit that jackpot of 1,000 United States dollars. Henry T. Troll Jr., Matthew Trolloplay, Ezekiel Johnson, Chicken Soup Factory, Jack Foley Tombikai, Broadville Bible College, Samson Carey, District 11, Nina Quia, North Dakota, the United States, Emmanuel Quia, Bon County, David Dunningstown, Clarence Dwell, Gruyalo Mountain, Douala Market, Bapin Paul Lee, Johnsonville, Kababa, Newtown, Claude de Port, Sam Coleman, Randa Street, Stephen Yakati, Tody District 2, Lower Magibi County, Musa A. Sharif, Broad Street, Barbara Stanford, Brooklyn, New York, the United States of America, Benson Victor, Doe Community, Munya Sharif, District 9, Cinco, Asata Miller, Red Light, Solo Watcosia, Gatnersville, that's Ek Julius, Coffee, Claratown, Abel Gonoti, Cornelius T, Jackson C. Poonin, Iron Factory, Block C, member of the Intellectual Center, Block 13, alongside the chairman of that center, the chairman for life, lifelong chairman, no replacement, common citizen chairman, Romancio Latupan, Kennebor, or Rico for short. Good to have all of you people on Saturday. Woodware from Atlanta, the United States. Joshua Quiga, Red Light. Good to have all of you people on. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It is another day in Liberia, another day under the reign of Judo Christopher. We've got a couple of issues, and then we are out for today. But before we get started, we must say thank you. You've heeded the concern as expressed. Thank you so much. And many of you have shown concern, and you are ready to stand with us in this battle by giving your support, whether $5, a rim or sheet, LEC token. We will appreciate it. Thank you all. You've been asking, and some of you have an understanding already. AB have started to give you people an insight. Very shortly, you will hear what and how you need to do the procedure uh, on Real Talk. Let's talk about it, and as well as uh, issues in society and the news. So we appreciate all of you. We can't do this alone. We got some good days ahead of us. At the same time, we acknowledge that we've got some difficult days ahead. Not war, but terrible times. So we have to navigate those through those terrible times with the little support that you can help us with to enhance our sustainability. We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Time is of the essence. Just so you are reminded, or this is a reminder, uh, the birthday is on July. We just get a couple of days. Today is the 19th, eh? Yes, today is the 19th. So be reminded, and you will know what to do accordingly. So let's go into what we've got on our afternoon plate. We will start with Alexander Cummings, the political leader of the Alternative National Congress. Alexander Cummings. We will begin with Alexander Cummings of the Alternative National Congress. This is a political party that did well when it first hit the political scene in Liberia, and then later in the 2023 elections, the National Elections Commission said they did nothing. But they have not left the political scene. They are around observing, checkmating the government, and today they had a position on this.
I do not ride private jets just because I want to ride them. But there are occasions that it become necessary. I do not ride private jets just because I want to ride them. But there are occasions that it become necessary. I do not ride private jets just because I want to ride them. But there are occasions that it become necessary. I can assure you, do not ride private jets just because I want to ride them. There are occasions that it become necessary. I do not ride private jets just because I want to ride them. There are occasions that it become necessary.
This is the position on that from the Alternative National Congress. by and through its leader, Alexander Cummings. He wrote, I have seen the debate around President Boakai's use of private jets, and I think it's important we look at this honestly and practically. As someone who's worked at a very senior level before and therefore flew and managed a fleet of private jets, I understand the value of time, especially for someone in charge of running a country. Spending 10 plus hours in airport long lodges, dealing with long layovers and unreliable connections doesn't make sense when the time could be better spent doing the actual work of governing, whether in Liberia or abroad. There are short, direct commercial routes where it makes sense to fly commercial, Morovia to Accra, Abidjan, even Nairobi. But for places like Abuja or New York, where you are dealing with long transits and frustrating delays, flying private jet isn't about luxury, it's about efficiency and effectiveness. That said, let's not pretend the optics don't matter. Liberia is still struggling. People are hurting. And when the average person can afford a decent meal or basic health care, seeing leaders fly private can feel like a slap in the face. But here is the real issue. If Liberia was thriving, if people saw real change, better services, job opportunities, and a sense that their future was finally looking up, nobody will be talking about how the president flies. In fact, if the country was in a strong place, it might even make sense to invest in a government owned plane that can be used for official travel and lease out when not in use. At the end of the day, what matters most isn't the flight, it's the results. If the president is focused on delivering real progress for the Liberian people, then how he gets to the next meeting becomes a lot less important. Let's keep our eyes on what really counts: performance, not just perception. Insights for Peace, written by the Alternative National Congress, transmitted to the public by its political leader, Alexander Cummings. He couldn't have put it any better. So, Mr. President is traveling. He has gone to Nigeria. They are in Nigeria. They flew to Nigeria not on a commercial flight, but private. This time around, you want to ask why the president delegation is so very long. He has gone to attend the West Africa Economic Summit, which runs from tomorrow, Friday, to Sunday, the 20, Saturday, the 20th and the 21st. Today is the 19th. It's taking place in Nigeria, Abuja. So it brings together heads of state, senior government officials, private sector leaders, and development partners from across the region. The reason for that forum to explore strategies for accelerating trade, investment, and regional integration. It is a platform for shaping policies and partnerships that promote sustainable economic growth, job creation, and industrial development across West Africa. President Boakai, according to the itinerary, will address the YAES Forum, and he will explain Liberia's vision for economic transformation and will present investment opportunities in critical sectors. Some of those areas are agriculture, energy, infrastructure, tourism, and digital innovation. Not only that, but he will hold bilateral and multilateral meetings with fellow regional leaders, investors, and institutions to advance Liberia's development agenda and secure meaningful economic partnerships. You can see and tell why the president delegation is high, 12 or 14 persons. 14. Sarah Beslow Yanti, Foreign Affairs, Augustine Kwanga Finance, Madeline Dagose, Commerce, Alexander Nuta, Agriculture, Wilmon Pay, Mines and Energy, Jeremy Pia, Information, Jeb Blabo, National Investment Commission, Samuel Steve Tikwe, Minister of State without portfolio for special services, Samuel Kofi Woods, National Security Advisor, Malik Kamara, Senior Economic Advisor to the President, Sekou Dukle, Managing Director, National Port Authority, the man who is accused of duping Lebanese, Chinese men of 3.6 million United States dollars. Amos Tue, Managing Director, Liberia Petroleum Refining Company, Christopher Onanunga, Special Envoy, one of the guys who was identified as going to Yanti to influence him, Mohammed Ba, Special Envoy for Trade and Investment. 14 persons, 14 ministers, advisors, minister without portfolio. And then they said he is also, his communication team is with him, the security and protocol. And Oswald Twe is the acting president. Yeah. So this is it on a private jet with all these people. The Ministry of Education took a decision, and some have criticized that decision as trampling on the rights of the students and creating an uneasy environment for the school administrations, especially those institutions or schools that do not have or not spacious. The ban, in my opinion, is right. Last, just yesterday, these same people who are saying today that it is wrong, the Ministry of Education should not have banned street parade and other activities, was saying it was wrong, it was an infringement on people's rights, it was blocking traffic, it was causing death because convoy and other vehicle with emergency could not flow through because the students had flooded the road. Why their argument made sense yesterday, it also makes sense today. The move by the Ministry of Education is worthy of credit. You cannot have students everywhere on the street drilling. The street is not for drilling. The streets are for vehicles. They weren't built or constructed for drilling. They were built for vehicles to move. If a school finds it not necessary to drill within the community, then they cannot come on the street to infringe on other people's right, block traffic, uh, let people businesses stall, create a scene by which criminals will penetrate because whenever they are drilling, the streets are jam packed, and some people just slip through, infiltrate, act like they're doing XYZ, and take people things away. We heard that many times. But it is also good for the safety of the students. You can have uh, students between the ages of 12, 15, 19, 23 in the street drilling. Why, if a vehicle runs out of control, sometimes they are drilling under the bill. The Minister of Education, Jasso Malo, and her team uh, took into consideration several factors, I believe some of which I've talked about, and I think it's necessary. Security is paramount. The first and foremost thing is security. So any school that is uncomfortable with that, well, you can find another option, not to bring the children in the street or on the street to drill. The streets are for vehicles. They are not for drilling. Even the armed forces of Liberia drilled right in the barrack. The armed forces don't come on the street to drill. They do the parade in the barrack. If the armed forces of Liberia can drill in the barrack, why students can do their parade within the community? You don't have to be extravagant with your drilling or your parade or whatever your activity. No, it is not the extreme pomp and pageantry and extravagant stuff that you want to put into it that will give you the kind of satisfaction that you think you ought to have. No, doing that, if car just run out of control into the students, what would the school say? Or something is happening somewhere and people start running from one end to another. Those students will not be sitting or standing there watching to see what is happening. They will start running too, and in the process, very many of them might get hurt badly or even die. The first law of nature is self-preservation. That means security comes first. So the decision by the Minister of Education was right. That was a good decision. I support that. They can do that in their area. Some of the schools have large compound. Large. They can drill in there. They can do the drilling in there. Yeah. But not to get on the street. Mhm. So let's go to what unfolded today in the Capitol building arson case that has been transferred to criminal court A. The judge of criminal court A has returned the bond argument back or to the Moravia City Court. That means the court will have to make a decision on the matter as requested by state lawyers. The question, the bond, the 440,000 United States dollars bond, in their opinion, it did not reach the reasonable limit that they would have thought or had argued. So since that didn't happen, they are opting that the bomb be squashed, thrown out of the window, Kofa and the rest of the guys be rearrested and taken back to Morovia Central Prison. The judge sent it back because there where it all started. So they are back at the Morovia City Court, and then the guys, his lawyers, their lawyers would know what to do, but that is the first that I have on my plate for that. Then we go to this one, Mr. Police Director. The police director gave a news conference today. As usual, he been troubled. His conscience has not been serving him well. Yeah. Has not been serving him well. He's been troubled, he and his people. So he decided to go at the Ministry of Information to speak to what been unfolding with John Yanti, monetary coercion or influence or cajoling. He felt it was compelling on his part to go and clarify. What he said was, the police had no idea whatsoever of what being discussed in the media, what people were saying and are still saying, attributing his return to Liberia by the police and every other thing. He said the police did not have a hand in it. Rather, the man was in Ghana and a family member spoke to him and he opted or agreed to be used as state witness. From there, the police pick it up. Have a listen to the police director today.
There's been claims and counterclaims about the police attempting to bribe suspect Yanti and trying to coerce him into lying on other co-defendants. I'm here to declare it that at no point in time, the Liberia National Police, at any given instance, have an engagement with Mr. Yanti concerning any issue of bribery. Of the names that he listed, there's no one who has got any authority to commit government in that regard. More so, Mr. Yanti has been identified from day one as a person of interest in this case, and he has been on the run. Through mutual cooperation with the Ghanaian police, he was arrested and subsequently turned over. Mr. Yanti was brought back into the country on the 6th, intervention of a family member who made a request that he was willing to cooperate and become a witness. However, we know that in criminal investigation, cooperating suspects are always dangerous. When he was brought in based on the request of the family member who assisted in this process, we gave him a chance to speak with him and to test the legitimacy of his willingness to assist in the investigation. In the process, it was proven that indeed he could not be trusted. He was already charged even before he was charged in absentia, so even before being arrested. As such, he was brought over at central headquarters and subsequently turned over to the court. At no point in time did we ever intend to make a deal with him or to even promise him what he's claiming. The claims that you're hearing and counter claims, I don't even know which one to believe. 50,000, 200,000, 2,000, whichever one it is. Though I can tell you they made requests that we do not honor. And at no point in time did we enter any agreement with Mr. Yanti to lie or to force him or coerce him in any way, shape, or form to speak falsely against any of the defendants. The LNP remain resolute. This matter is, like I say, is before the court. We are still looking at for other suspects. Now that we have a full indictment, the Interpol diffusion that we have for the suspects that are alive, I've instructed the Deputy Inspector General for Current Services, Intelligence, and Interpol to upgrade that diffusion notice in the Interpol system for red notice. So over the next few days, that notice will be published. As soon as we get a feedback from NCB Monrovia receives the feedback from Interpol, it will be published out there. It will be shared with our counterparts around the world to have those criminal suspects repatriated to Nigeria for prosecution. Mr. Yanti returned followed lawful procedures. He was accorded the due privileges. The Ghanaian police cooperated with us. The relative of his who engaged and asked us to give him a chance because he wanted to intervene. We have spoken to them. We have their sworn statements and everything. When Mr. Yanti came in, he went in the presence of his lawyer, made sworn statement that we have on record that was videotaped and also written in by his own hand. The video is clear. When it is right, when that time reaches at court, it will be presented for whatever evidence purpose. But at no point in time was he ever forced to do anything of such.
Police IG Gregory Coleman at the Ministry of Information news briefing today. That's it. He said, with the help of the Ghanaian police and a family member, 1, 2, that he had been on the run. 3, he was arrested. 4, the time interval, we are talking about the late part of last month and the early part of this month. 5, the length of time this man stayed in a Liberian hotel. 6, you knew this man was on the run, aided by the Ghanaian police to turn him over. You should have immediately, just like they did Charles Taylor, go through all of the security stuff and turn him over or take him to Sub Beach, just as you did Kofa and the others. 6, throughout the weeks, you knew that this man was at a specific place called hotel. You did not go there to pick him up as a prime suspect according to your investigation. The man came out to identify people who had been going to his hotel when he should have been in jail, influencing him to say what he doesn't want to say. The police director confirmed that the man made a request to them. That request, he did not go in detail. How can a prime suspect, as per your investigation, enter a bargain with you? Why will you even allow that in the first place? It doesn't make sense. Right there is a blatant lie. A person who is a fugitive, a person who is on the run, and with the influence of a family member and that of the Ghanaian police, the person is in your custody. How can the person reach an agreement with you? What agreement? He did not say. Did he want to bribe the police? Did he promise the police anything? Does he have the capacity? No. So Gregory Coleman lied there. He went further to say that the man voluntarily, by his own writing, made a statement and that he is on camera. Where did that happen? Who videotaped this man and handed the video recorded of John Yanti told the police that Gregory Coleman is bragging about that when the time comes, they will display that in court? It is provided. You ask the legal people. Because for us, when we do that, they can say all manner of things. They even run to the court. They call that blackmailing. They say, oh, the journalist will call me unknown to myself. That's blackmailing. They run to the court to issue a libel suit. Did Yanti agree that he be videotaped? And why would Yanti even agree to make a statement and at the same time tell the police to videotape him? Gregory Coleman, sorry, man, Chief, you are the police inspector general of the Republic of Liberia, but you aren't smart at all. You don't know how to carry out any classified situation that will convince the public that these guys did the act. Even if they did not do it, you don't even know. Gregory Coleman, you need to go for training, man. You know how to do this one. You are a police director who just move around in cars, long convoy, you're comfortable. But in this situation, this is you don't know how to turn this thing into a classified stuff like we see on the international scene. The person will not do the act at all, but it will be presented in a way that everybody will be convinced that truly this person did the act. Because of the way they will go about doing it. They will not fake anything. Even if the faking will appear real. It is a pathetic situation. You're listening to Gregory Coleman again, then we'll open the line. We're managing. Yeah, please understand.
There's been claims and counterclaims about the police attempting to bribe suspect Yanti and trying to coerce him into lying on other co-defendants. I'm here to declare that at no point in time did the Liberia National Police at any given instance have an engagement with Mr. Yanti concerning any issue of bribery. Of the names that he listed, there's no one who has got any authority to commit government in that regard. More so, Mr. Yanti has been identified from day one as a person of interest in this case, and he has been on the run. through mutual cooperation with the Ghanaian police, he was arrested and subsequently turned over. Sayanti was brought back into the country on the 6th, intervention of a family member who made a request that he was willing to cooperate and become a witness. However, we know that in criminal investigation, cooperating suspects are always dangerous. When he was brought in based on the request of the family member who assisted in this process, we gave him a chance to speak with him and to test the legitimacy of his willingness to assist in the investigation. In the process, it was proven that indeed he could not be trusted. He was already charged even before he was charged in absentia, so even before being arrested. As such, he was brought over at central headquarters and subsequently turned over to the court. At no point in time did we ever intend to make a deal with him or to even promise him what he's claiming. The claims that we're hearing and counter claims, I don't even know which one to believe. 50,000, 200,000, 2,000, whichever one it is. Though I can tell you they made requests that we could not honor. And at no point in time did we enter any agreement with Mr. Yanti to lie or to force him or coerce him in any way, shape, or form to speak falsely against any of the defendants.
So the family members, that's it. Gregory Coleman saying you made requests to them. So you knew that Yanti was around and what he was going through, and you people made requests. I'm not saying that he's 100% true with that, but in your press conference, you admitted receiving 2,000 United States dollars from one Alpha, who, by reasoning, we consider the middleman. And you people said that you have 2,000, you have the 2,000 with your still. If that is true, then it means it lends credence to Gregory Coleman's position today that you people made a request unknown to your brother for money. But again, why that could happen or we may not believe it, Gregory Coleman knew that this man was a prime or is a prime suspect. He should have arrested this man ever since and taken him to South Beach. Why he kept the man all of those weeks in a specific hotel. It is from there the man said he was being visited by several government officials. He named 106, 103. He named Mark Ambler. He named a couple of government officials. He said they were going to him. I'm not saying that you'll start calling. If you start calling now, I will cut all of these phones off. I talk and then I'm out. It is not you people who will dictate. If you have an appetite to call, you wait. People can start talking anything, then you're ready. So, Mr. Coleman, Inspector Coleman, you should have arrested this man ever since, yeah? We will not believe what you said. The Ghanaian government will tell us how, because you said the Ghanaian government aided you with a family member. So you must have alerted the Ghanaian government that they had a fugitive in the country, a Liberian fugitive that the government needed. And so they sought out for him. You must have sent his photos because these are things that you needed to explain at the press conference. It was not for you to say that because the case is in court, so you were not going to talk much. No, you have been talking more than the judge, more than lawyers, more than anybody in this country on this whole thing. You put yourself in the forefront like you are the judge. You know it all. So at this point in time, you cannot say you're not talking much because it's in court. You have always talked much and talk enough. So no need for that. The court will not summon you. It is now that you know that if you talk much, the court will summon you because you're getting hint that you will stand in court as police inspector general to testify as state witness. Oh, Gregory Coleman, relax yourself. You don't smart. You don't smart, chief. Hey, leave that thing. It is not power here right now. Not power. No, you're finished exercising the power. So the Ghanaian government knew. Then you say a family member. And if you're listening to the recording carefully, people being attributing it to or suspecting the foreign minister, Sarah Beslow Yanti. She's not the one. If you listen to him carefully, he kept on saying, using the pronoun he, when he was talking about the relative. So it means the relative that he claimed to have put forth or turned over Yanti is a male. You're listening carefully again. So those of you who were suspecting the foreign minister, Sarah Beslow Yanti, because her last name is Yanti, she isn't the one.
However, we know that in criminal investigation, cooperating suspects are always leaders. When he was brought in based on the request of the family member who assisted in this process, we will give him a chance to speak with him and to test the legitimacy of his willingness.
Did you hear that? When he was brought in by the family member, we gave him a chance to speak with him. We gave him a chance to speak with him. Meaning a male family member brought him in and they gave Yanti the chance to speak with that male or male family member. Have a listen again.
He was willing to cooperate and become a witness. However, we know that in criminal investigation, cooperating suspects are always leaders. When he was brought in based on the request of the family member who assisted in this process, we will give him a chance to speak with him and to test the legitimacy of his willingness to assist in the investigation. In the process, it was proven that indeed he could not be trusted. He was already charged even before he was charged in absentia, so even before being arrested as such, he was brought over at central headquarters and subsequently turned over to the court. At no point in time did we ever intend to make a deal with him or to even promise him what he's claiming. The claims that you're hearing and counterclaims, I don't even know which one to believe. 50,000, 200,000, 3,000, whichever one it is. Though I can tell you they made requests that we could not honor. And at no point in time did we enter any agreement with Mr. Yanti to lie or to force him or coerce him in any way, shape, or form to speak falsely against any of the defendants. The LNP will remain resolute. This matter is, like I say, is before the court.
Yeah, it is before the court. So the next part you're about to listen to is another person whom he said they will have to bring in the country. It looks like they have plenty of people out of Liberia. Listen to the next part. He's about to explain that.
We're still looking at for other suspects. Now that we have a full indictment.
Did you get him? We are still looking for another suspect now that we have a full indictment.
The LNP will remain resolute. This matter is, like I say, is before the court. We are still looking at for other suspects. Now that we have a full indictment, the diffusion, the Interpol diffusion that we have for the suspects that are alive, I've instructed the Deputy Inspector General for Criminal Services, Intelligence, and Interpol to upgrade that diffusion notice in the Interpol system for red notice. So over the next few days, that notice will be published. As soon as we get a feedback from NCB Monrovia receives the feedback from Interpol, it will be published out there. It will be shared with our counterparts around the world to have those criminal suspects repatriated to Nigeria for prosecution. Mr. Yanti returned followed lawful procedures. He was accorded the due privileges. The Ghanaian police cooperated with us. The relative of his who engaged and asked us to give him a chance because he wanted to intervene. We have spoken to him. The Yanti returned followed lawful procedures. He was accorded the due privileges. The Ghanaian police cooperated with us. The relative of his who engaged and asked us to give him a chance because he wanted to intervene.
Did you get that? A relative of his who asked us to give him a chance, that he wanted to speak with him. That relative, that man, that not woman. Those of you who had been suspecting Sarah Beslow Yanti, no. I know that you ran straight to her because of the last name Yanti, but she's not the one. Gregory Coleman is referring to a man. A man.
Repatriated to Nigeria for prosecution. Mr. Yanti returned followed lawful procedures. He was accorded the due privileges. The Ghanaian police cooperated with us. The relative of his who engaged and asked us to give him a chance because he wanted to intervene.
And asked us to give him a
we
chance.
have spoken to them. We have their sworn statements and everything. When Mr. Yanti came in, he willingly, in the presence of his lawyer, made sworn statement that we have on record that was videotaped and also written in by his own hand. The video is clear. When it is right, when that time reaches at court, it will be presented for whatever evidence purpose. But at no point in time was he ever forced to do anything of such.
So at this point, why ego? Hey, Gregory Coleman. So all that thing they're doing, they went and found lawyer for the man. The man, you said the man is a prime suspect. Hey man, I say your stop. I will cut these phones off, and when you call it, will just bounce back. Nobody. What you're calling all the lines for? You can't wait. You can't understand English. Everything. People can't even go 2-3 minutes. You don't start calling. I will cut all these phone off. You when you call, it will just get busy tune in your ear. It off. And 5:30 are out. Follow the procedure. You think that joke we on here? A serious thing. You're interested. Oh, they want 1 day. They government days that all. Just wait. Give me a chance. The man said this man had been on the run. The man was first arrested. They got in touch with the police in Ghana or the Ghanaian authorities. Then he said a family member turned him over. The police did not know, did not have anything to do with it. Dang, Gregory Coleman. Che! They didn't you explain it to 3, 4, 5, 6 years old child to say, yeah, people like uncle, there are no sense in our wonder. Nothing of Gregory Coleman is connecting in this thing. Nothing. He said the man signed, made a statement voluntarily in the presence of his lawyer. How can a man who is a prime suspect, was not taken to court, was not arraigned, was not taken into any police custody, was not taken to court, then you say the man signed, the man made a statement in the presence of his lawyer? At what time you have a lawyer? Ego, Gregory Coleman. You see, when God moves from behind you, the Bible says God hates lying lips. And God does not support anybody who devises evil against an innocent soul. That's how he exposes you. Everything about Gregory Coleman. It was better, Gregory Coleman, you didn't go to that news conference at the Ministry of Information. It was better you just said. So you see now that truly what is in the public about bribe has substance. You kept the former speaker and the other guys at the police station for several hours the entire day on Friday because you saw them as suspects and you needed to jail them. You took them to jail because you did not want their lawyers to have anything to do with them or filing a bond. This man, you say, instead of carrying the man to jail, you say the man made a request to the police. The man started conversing with through his family. And you decided to sit with the family. How can the man in your investigation, a prime suspect, sit with you, the family, and you negotiate? Then you say that the Capitol building, I know how they can call it, sacred place, when you're taking it so serious. Oh, come on, man, chief. This is a fun fair something. It's a prank. You don't do that. You don't do that. Just accept negligence that all the thing happened and you will put money together. How they call it? In no time. In no time. The very day the thing happened, the following day, they arrive at an amount. They say 1.8 million. Something investigation ongoing. Then you conclude on amount to raise in the budget to renovate the place. And you expect that people will not suspect that something happened somewhere. Some certain people know. You gave the man the best of all treatment. How can you? This man has not been arraigned in court as your state witness. This man is a prime suspect. So take him to jail just as you took the other people to jail. When the time comes, he will be arraigned in court. And then you can use him as state witness. How will the man say that he has agreed to be a state witness when the man telling you at this point in time in the open that you tried bribing him, coercing him? It's somebody who has agreed to be a witness for the state will not be in that position, will not come up publicly to say anything whatsoever. That person will remain silent. That person will not utter a word to anybody. That person will keep his word that he gave to state prosecutors. He will remain as quiet, as calm, as confident until the time that he will take the witness stand. But the man is telling you, the man is telling everybody, the man is all over the world that he was bribed. He can't do it. You're trying influencing him to lie on Kofa and the other people. Everything you explain, Gregory, come on. Sorry, man, chief. Sorry. No disrespect to you, but no, you can sense, there's no sense in that thing. You try wrapping your head around it to figure out something of sense. It's hard. Too many contradictions running throughout that statement you made today. It was better you didn't go to address or to give that news conference. Too many. And keep playing the King's Cash giveaway. Down star 79 and star 24 hatch. Play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US. It is Thursday. You can use that going into the weekend. T-Max Zagenberg said, no way out to cover up the mess. He thinks Liberians are stupid people. After all the big crimes you put on those lawmakers, no evidence. You disagree with your own government. Alex Kalu said this is Unity Party last time coming to leadership in this country. I'm closely following. Prince Gay Jr. said, listening to this whole issue is about causing attention and distracting people from not knowing the truth or what the government is doing. They are just trying to make a whole lot of nonsense to distract people, and then the president will carry on his evil act. Do you understand? It's just a distraction because there is nothing this police director is explaining for us to understand. Bapin Paul Lee said, when your best friend is God, you are never alone. Honorable Kofa, the Lord is with you guys. Bishop says, Bwaka is a reason why Liberians are suffering because Bwaka himself is darkness. Okay. So keep playing the King's Cash giveaway. Dial star 79 and star 24 hatch. Play with $200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 US and win for yourself 5,000 and 10,000. And then you can have a nice weekend. Good weekend. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. So if you can get 10,000, 15,000 today, and tomorrow another 15,000, that's 30,000. That can do so much for you. Pastor Melvin Destiny Harvest Power. Thank you for coming on, my dear brother. Yeah, we talk later. We talk after the show. So that's it. Alexander Cummings' position on President Joseph Yuma Boakai's private jet. Why it is true in his opinion that the president can, given the circumstance, ride a private jet. Equally, you want to look at the improvement of the lives of the people. If things are better off with the people and the president is riding private jet or flying private jet, the people wouldn't have problem with it. But in a poverty-stricken country where poverty is at 75 or 80, and the president is driving private jet, and the same man who said that under his predecessor, the country was sinking, is doing the same thing. The Ministry of Education will ban street parades of schools and other activities. And then the police RG leaders. Let's get to you to have your say on 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 980 You're not going to stay on the line long to be explaining history. You want to go straight to the point so that I can take as many of you as I can. I will not hesitate to cut you off if you want to explain long time history. Just go straight to the point so I can take as many people as I can. Then I can go to other issues. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, I'm Gaston Joba speaking from Broad Street, Logantown. Am I clear?
Chief, if you were not
my concerns have to do with the police IG press conference. I want to know from him. He said that the police in this place helped him to have the man arrested. The police in Ghana helped him to have the man arrested. We want to know, is the police send this man over to the relative or the police send the man over to the authorities of Liberia, to him, who requested them to help him?
Very good question, Sam.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you. Very good question. How did that go? Was there any form of turnover? Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm getting you. You are on the air.
Thank you, sir.
This is very key. You see, the IG lie from the very onset of this thing. If you feel that Nyati was a prime suspect, according to him, he said he got arrested in the article about the Interpol. So Interpol will arrest somebody, a wanted man.
Ghana,
They
not
just,
Ivory Coast, Ghana.
look, I listened to him.
My man,
He
I said
said,
Ghana, the one, the man, the what I hear is what I'm reporting. I did not hear
okay,
Ivory Coast, so you can say Ivory Coast. So you can say
yeah,
Kings FN gave wrong information. The man said
yeah,
Ghana.
yeah, all right. So if Interpol turn the guy over, then why you haven't taken the hotel room? Why they couldn't take him to Central like they did for nothing then, and they kept them there? Even though they sell for female, it was that correct, so they have to take Priscilla back to her horse, and other people could not go back home and stand by the lawyers. But Priscilla could be stand for by her lawyer and taken home because the sale was not good.
Priscilla Kobo is a standby state witness. Priscilla Kobo will testify against Fonati Kofa and the rest. She is a standby state witness. She was inserted into the equation so that she would testify. That's why she was relieved to her lawyers, and she's not bothering her. She's comfortable. She relaxed. She is a unity party person. She's just being used as a pawn on the chessboard. She will testify against Fonati Kofa then.
So they are using this strategy now to tell us, Fonati and other will be guilty because they got Priscilla on that side. So they want to look for one CDC person who will join her to incriminate these people.
Thank you, sir.
God will not exist because we know that.
Hello.
I don't know, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my car.
Let's hear you. Let's hear you.
Yeah. You know, the police IG is seriously embarrassing the Bwaka government, and he is sitting there and allowing you to do it. Because if Bwaka was a serious minded president, by now the police IG should have leave it in. Because his inconsistency is creating another doubt over the case, you know. Because if family member will encourage a guy to come to Liberia, do they have the ability to keep him, to have kept him at the hotel till the 6th of June when he arrived in the country?
They should have taken him immediately to the prison to be jailed.
Yeah. Do they have the ability? And because people have gone back and forth, 50,000, no, we count 100,000, no. Then you talking, carry to police station for police station, straight for Egypt. So what is a crime now? Because we don't know. So he is not suspect. What did he do? Oh man. So this is the first time we are seeing this happening. That you have this kind of case on him. You are already indicted people. Then you are looking for evidence all over. You are looking for witnesses all over. When the case will start, here we are going back to city court to argue, bro.
Yeah, they're going back.
So it's going to be a raw ride, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you too, sir. Hello. Hello? You are on the air. Hello.
Hello, sir. I'm not sure on it now. Hello, good afternoon, Papa.
Let's hear you. What is your name and where you call from?
I'm calling from Tansia West One. I call Mama Benuli. Sir, Kwaku Komoti Usupe. Because we now go to school somewhere, we send our trainer to school. We now know book. We now know plenty. We now in share for our child. Now in late for them to turn up. Person who what to do. Then the family will send for the child before they will be crying. Let us start fooling in the player. Let us start acting wicked and start fooling Liberian. They must start making wickedness to Liberian people. Let it stop. People are getting the message. Stop it. You know, be wrong. When somebody back go, you should not harm that person. Go always there for the person. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Let's hear you.
Hello.
You want to cut your radio off?
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Andrew. Yeah, I'm very sorry. Let me say good evening to you and good evening to the King Happy family for the president, web for Liberian people, and also good evening to Liberian people in general. For the recognition for the public, I'm Pukat Robert. Now, join you this evening for an unknown destination. Mr. St. Andrews, hello?
I'm listening to you, sir.
Okay. Mr. St. Andrews, so you are doing a very tremendous work that was commendation, and we will commend you to the fullest altar, not only you, but you and the entire PSF family. May God Almighty blessing be upon you guys, because of God patriotic and nationalistic standing that what you guys are doing. And you're not doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for the love of country. But to the point, Mr. Andrew, let me go here. If the guys from the other side, if they see that the community, the bastard degree that the guys are smarter more than us, the age of Methuselah got nothing to do with the wisdom of King Solomon. What does that mean? You trying to cajole and mesmerize me or something that I'm seeing it for myself. You brought a criminal from abroad, as you said. Why you don't do that enough? Carry him to the headquarters and investigate him for what you brought into the country for. But you kept the man in Liberia hotel. You ever kept the other guy, you kept the swap, you ever kept in Liberia hotel? Then you come to me, you want to do me, they say, I don't know what your Nicodemus motive. You say, I don't know what was your Nicodemus motive. It was for you to see how you can cajole this man and see how you can lie on these sick people. But to tell you that the God in heaven is a God that so for sure. This guy will be brought towards their knees. Oh yeah, we're watching the kids. And
All right, Mr. Rabo.
Yeah, to conclude, I let the way my brother stand. And for we for the CDC, if you not respect nobody, did not sit there and protect you for amendment.
You are there, Mr. Rabo? You went off, sir. You went off. Hello.
Hello.
You cut the radio off. When you call in, you cut the radio off. It doesn't have to be loud.
Hello.
You give us ear problem?
Yeah, hello.
Sorry, the radio is off. How are you? Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay. Let's hear you.
Okay. To the point, I'm Charles Ambrose on Ghana jail. This police ID has validated the scene of others that he never attended any police academy. He is very naive when it comes to policing. How on earth can a police ID say that the man, a suspect, was indicted? He was charged and indicted during his absence. And through the help of Interpol, because we're talking about the Ghanaian police, he was arrested and sent over to the Liberian police. And he took him, put him in a hotel, and he becomes person of interest. Is he a contradiction? What is he saying? This man is not worth to become an RG. Are we seeing if RGs of West African countries sitting down to brainstorm on security matter? And they kind of book up one center, and I thank you for the expression, and thank you for the opportunity.
Hello.
Yeah. How are you, Uncle Sam? I'm Margaret from New Jersey.
Let's hear you.
Yeah. I think as time goes back, Mr. Waka said we told men job and give it to boys. Then what happened today? Where are the men? And they don't care economic was in the toilet. Where are they?
Well, you finished? Okay. Hello.
Hello, is it Andrew?
Yeah, let's hear you.
This is Patriotic, sir. I'm calling from Clarence. How was your body, sir?
Yeah, you're fine.
Thank God for life. What I want to say is, Andrew, there's anything you want to how we handle, how we're working, and how we're college you went to. I want you want to just go spy or you go spy get it or install in class. But there's talking about what is talking, no understanding. So then when you can, you will say we get evidence, sufficient evidence, all the country will bring it, we get this and that. So then you telling all that men were arrested by the police of Ghana and take what to Liberia. So you say you're going from Ghana and say what to you. You told the poor Liberia, the men are escaped from the country, we arrested you from Ghana, we brought you, or the person to us. You want to anybody about it?
The man know what he was saying. The man made fun of the Ghanaian people. He allowed the Ghanaian police. And those people, listen, don't even trust those Ghanaian people. Those were the same people who sat down there when Richard Kun was not speaker. They allowed Bwaka to use them to recognize him as speaker. Don't worry. Usually how it is, don't mind, CC. When a foreign country intercept by your request that you want somebody to intercept that person, they will bring that person to your country on a special flight and turn over officially to your authorities. Then they will take charge. And you saw how they did Charles Taylor? Just imagine the Marxist Charles Taylor time, that was war time. It was not easy. But you saw how the people did it? So they brought Charles Taylor here, they put him. The Nigerian authority, they went back. Meaning, he ain't in our control. We took him and we brought him to your authority. That's how it is done.
Part of bullshit is talking about.
Hey, Masisi, don't tell her what I see you. Hello.
Yes, I do. That's not the city. The policeman, your money. Your money, I left behind. The people coming from will feel wet. Where you eating your money, eh? You also your rescue up. Come on. You get guy the free our children. Guy the free and get well, they get our children. So please, why you want to get up? Yeah, that's somebody. Why get into the jail?
All right.
They get to what is it?
Okay.
Yes,
thank you, my baby.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sam Andrew. This is Mike Bryan calling from the Chicken Safari Hotel. Yeah, thank you for all your points that you gave me out, at least to get our brother and sister informed of what's going on. You know, I just listened to the police IG, Mr. Gregory Coleman, or he just read in the interview. The I still praying for the young people because if you say the man is a suspect or other things, but when you sort of keep him at the hotel, you take him out of the prison company. But they kept him down there, they paying a hotel bill, they feeding him. Then how would you come out to say, oh, now the police is not involved in fact their family member? The government has failed already, but they just finding means to clear the sheen from their face. And just what you are saying, whole police IG, what you reading down there makes sense? Thank you, and thank you, brother.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Sam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Now, me, Jane Doe, the simple of what people in this dealing with political transference. Now, the RG of the police already finished telling order the hotel and police station. Anytime we grab a suspect, we first take them to the hotel, from the hotel, and then we can take them to the court. So that thing doesn't make sense. They say will not understand that thing. You took the man, you say you take the man from Ghana. I think what you need to do is just take him straight to the prison compound or to police station instead of taking you to the hotel. But again, this is the country we find ourselves in. Thank you very much, son.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The man say, John Yanti was to be used as a witness. But then he went further to say a family member made the request for Yanti to be used as state witness. Meaning, it is not the police did not see Yanti as a state witness. But a family member say he should be used as a state witness. That's what Gregory Coleman said. You listen to it carefully. He said they're not the police. So he's simply saying that this family member, because of this family member request and the status of this family member, there was no need to get Yanti to Moravia Central Prison. You're getting the logic? Gregor Coleman said that the police did not reach the conclusion to use Yanti as state witness, but it was this Yanti relative who told the police that he should be used as state witness. So by logical reasoning now, why Yanti had been in a hotel all along? Because of this relative status. Since he is related to this relative, whether the relative is in government or not, I do not know, but I am assuming that because of that, they refused to put Yanti in jail and opted for a decent treatment so that he will be convinced by the comfort, the money, the promises, the visits of those government officials that he said been visiting him, that he will feel relaxed. When the time comes, then he goes. So if that is true, if what Gregor Coleman said, it is true, which we don't want to believe because he contradicted everything from the one, but let's assume for the discussion's sake that is true, then Yanti's own family has put him up as a sacrifice to get Fonatikova and the rest of the guys in jail. Because of what Gregor Coleman said, that the police did not know. Rather, a family member made a request. A family member made a request to use him as state witness. Yeah, a family member, not the police, according to Gregory Coleman. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrews. This is Spencer Mohammed, and I call from Apropos Conon, down Coast Spoon Hill, Winter Community. Mr. Andrew, I think in my mind, everything that Mr. Gregory Coleman is doing today is just a damage control because everything that they wanted to do had leaked and you have no substance. My question is this: is Gregory telling us that as a criminal you will negotiate with a police commander on a kind of high-profile case? Is that why he's telling us, the Liberians? In my mind, the government had nothing to prove because their only reliance was on Unity. They felt that Unity was going to lie. That's why they kept him in a hotel for 10 or 12 days. But because Unity did not live up to what they wanted, that's why he's lying. There is no way that a high-profile criminal will negotiate with a police director. This is death upon the robbers.
No, that's the family. That's the family.
I don't want you guys to carry on down
no,
the street.
listen now, listen. That's the family. It was in Yanti. The family. Gregor Coleman pointed to the family, not Yanti as a person. If you listen to him carefully, he puts everything at the feet of the family. He did not say this man, John Yanti, went to them and started to appeal to them to reach a settlement some kind of way. But rather, it was the family who made requests to them. The family put forth a request that the police will make an offer to them. He did not say Yanti as a person, but rather the family. And the family at a news conference confirmed receiving information from the police, monetary information, and one of the sisters said that they received 2,000 United States dollars from one Alpha, and the 2,000 they still have it.
If John agreed, when they tried him, so they took a phone for him. So they tried him, they gave him a phone. Right away, he get online to get in touch with the high when I recorded him. He said, you can do anything quick, go to the media, go everywhere, make it out, let people come out for me, this and that. Did a statement to John to make a statement and answer, question and answer. What for them to see? Because according to the guy who brought John to the country, he said that John and the people in prison.
You're understanding the lady? According to the guy who brought John to the country, the police director said he was turned over by the Ghanaian government. He was turned over by the Ghanaian government. Then the sister is saying the guy who brought John to the country. Here you go. Gregory Coleman. Gregory Coleman, why? Why, Gregory Coleman? Why lie on the Ghanaian government like that? This thing you have to be careful so that you don't create a sour diplomatic relation between Liberia and Ghana. You stop this thing. We know how a fugitive is brought or handed over to a sovereign country. It is not done by secrecy. It is not done under the cover of darkness. It is never a covert operation. It is a formal handover. Just imagine in a dark days, several years back, Charles Taylor was handed over formally by the Nigerian government, turned over to the Liberian government. Then one more at this time that everything is peaceful. No war. Guns are not around the place. That the Ghanaian government will hand this man to a friend or to somebody to bring him into the country and hand it over. In fact, when you turn the person over to a friend, isn't it very likely for the person to escape? You are brought into the country when you are intercepted by a sovereign country. If the two countries, if there is an extradition treaty, that country brings that person back formally and hand over. My man, you're fighting get substance again, man. I'm getting tired. I just want you to hear the place where she said 2,000 was given.
According to the guy who brought John to the country, he said that John and the people in prison, they own the same land. So for that reason, Reverend did a statement to John to.
And Gregory said that the man made voluntary statement. That means the man wrote himself. Consciously, he decided to write. And Gregory Coleman said the man is on record. The sister is saying this thing, it did not happen in Ghana. This lady, I don't want to believe that she's lying, because Gregory Coleman said the family made a request to them. So it means that everything, both the police authorities and the family were involved. That everything along the way, they knew. The family knew, the police authorities, everybody. Gregory Coleman explained it in a way, but nobody can believe that. He said the man made a voluntary statement, and the man is on record. A statement in the presence of his lawyer. You're right.
To John to make it new from what the people in prison having. And John said he can go by it. In that the Harley, when they tried him, but they took a phone for him. So they tried him, they gave him a phone.
Oh, I want to get his 2,000
what they want him to do, they will give him 50,000 and they will take his family from there to Europe. So within them, they get the first 2,000 to John. So after who received it, to turn it over. After gave the 2,000, and we still got the 2,000 in our possession.
Yeah. So Gregory Coleman said, this thing here, listen, the family too, they messed themselves up. They were out for the few. They messed things up too. Their insensitivity is being exposed. Gregory Coleman and his people were using them. In this situation, you don't want to entertain anything. You don't want to enter into any discussion. Least to say, going to the extent to receive money. So you see, they confirm Gregory Coleman said that the family made request to them. Then they say that Gregory Coleman and his people wrote a statement and gave it to Yanti to read. Gregory Coleman said the man voluntarily decided to explain in writing in the presence of his lawyers. He's on camera. He's on video, meaning they have the video to that he did everything voluntarily. It was not a coercion by the police. And in court, they will display all of those. Yeah, let's take a few calls and then we move on to another thing. Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. Oh.
Yeah, I'm Pastor Aaron McGill, a former security officer. But I would like to give my contribution mostly at the investigation. I learned that this young kid man who was brought from Ghana to Liberia, who should stand as a state witness in the case of Patriotic. Now, I learned that he's a prime suspect. And now, you cannot have a prime suspect when a crime is committed in the presence of that, the scene of the crime committed. You have all those that were there. They were all who were on the crime scene at that time should be gathered as suspects. And there should be a forensic investigation. In that forensic investigation, through cross-examination, before you can be able to sort out the prime suspect. Now, confusing it from the police director, who is giving information that is questionable to society. Now, if he can say that this man is a prime suspect, then which means that man should have been in the confine of the custody.
All right, Chief.
In the confine of the custody, because they are going through necessary scrutinization and have been proven by all facts.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, Andrew.
Yeah.
This is the voice of Peter Sai, and I join you from Sokoto District 4. Mr. Andrew, I would like to know firstly whether this, whole process to bring Brother Yanti back, John Yanti, what is true extradition? Because that can be done through extradition court process. At the time there was any court process, if that was not done, then what Gregory Coleman was doing unknown to himself, because Ghana had prided himself to be like a mode of democracy in West Africa.
The man lied on the Ghanaian government, man. There was not the extradition process did not go through that lie. The lady said, the man's sister said Yanti was brought into the country by a friend. Gregory Coleman said the man's relative intervened. It was the relative who told him to serve as state witness.
So is that kind of duty or Ghanaian police?
You can't believe the Gregory Coleman lie. No, that's not true. Hey, my man, don't believe that thing. Chief, don't believe that thing. The Ghanaian government did not do anything arresting that man. When a sovereign state arrests a person on behalf of the country that person is wanted, the person is turned over formally.
And that's all problem can be done. Don't you once you court process? But you bundle somebody, nothing is new about extradition. You want a guy screaming on tape, recording that he was set up, and then you're in your room, they just group of guys grabbing. Kidnapping somebody.
All right. Thank you.
Then we are afraid. Thank you.
But thank you, sir. What had to be afraid? Nothing. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Sam.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yeah, I call from Bravo. Yeah, my point in this whole discussion is that Gregory is finding himself a very hot or boiling water to take back with, because he's sitting and looking at what he thinks he can do in Liberia, go against the citizen and to do things that would make he and his family okay. But he should watch out that time will come that police suit he can wear, or even a uniform he can wear to make himself look famous. will be hard for him. Let him continue his wickedness, his tricks, and his setback. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
My man, you ain't understand English, eh? They say women's line, then you call on it. Hey, Chief. I'll bake you, man.
Okay.
0777 9803 for the woman there. Miss P. Liberian way. Maybe you don't understanding it. Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Saint Andrew.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Saint Andrew.
Yeah, I'm getting you. You're on
Yeah.
the
I'm
air.
speaking to you that from this way 11. That me always talking. But let me tell you, I saw this money again. The government can lie and they not get nothing off from this cover that they get one lie to say they can't put them in jail because they not get evidence that something that they RG the police director that they want burn that place there. So because Frankie talk about zero machine, he went to talk about the what you call in the country, the city what they doing, you went to order them that why they put that thing on a hay. But Frankie they don't know nothing about it. The government can lie so that the government burn their own capital building. So that's what I want to tell you.
Okay.
Hello?
All right. Hello. 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 Chief, you ain't ready? Let's go to another person. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this Rubicon and I call from my Ghana base this afternoon. You see, the issue of Yankee statement should be considered serious, but should be far away from politics. These are full-grown men to have come up with this allegation against government official. And yes, somebody is saying that those things happen in common. Government dialogue with people to serve as state witness. But in the scene, the men mention about torture. The men mention about robbery. I think it is now since this government don't believe you have independent investigators, they are still to poke into this thing. Whatsoever to get that there, feeding him 300 a day, telling you say these are things these are records that are there. I think it is need for government to go there. We are following up, and this issue, I know the reality will come out at the end of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. Thank you all for spicing it up. I appreciate all of you. You are so good. You've done extremely well. Extremely well. Thank you so much. Let's see some of the comments. Keep playing. Continue playing the King's Cash giveaway. Star 79 and star 24 Hajj. Play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50. Let's see some of the comments. Then we can move on to the LACC.